Hello, my name is Maria from mathmammoth.com. In this lesson we're going to do some calculations with rational numbers. And rational numbers are basically your fractions and decimals. Decimals that can be written as fractions. So with these calculations, we're going to first use mental math and rounded numbers to estimate the final result of the calculation, and then we'll calculate. And we will use the estimate then to check that the final answer makes sense or is reasonable. This first one, we have 7/8 times negative 2.1, and then add to that 2.47. The first question is, would we use fractions or decimals in our calculation? If you have a calculator, it won't matter. You can just use what is there. But if we're going to use paper and pencil math, we need to choose. Here I have 7/8, and this one could be changed into a fraction easily. This one too, but it becomes 247 over 100. And 247, I don't know if I want to deal with that type of a fraction. Can I change this to a decimal easily? In this case, yes, I can, because I do remember what it is as a decimal. It is 0.875. So I'm going to use decimals. And what is my estimate? I'm going to round this to an easy number that I can calculate with, such as 1 or 0.9. Let's say I use 1. And here, since I rounded this up, I will round this down to -2. And this one, I will use 2.5. So this gives me my estimate. -2 plus 2.5 would be 0.5. Now the actual calculation, I will multiply these two numbers using the normal multiplication algorithm, like this. 5 times 1, okay, everything times 1, then 2 times 5, 2 times 14 plus 1 is 15, and then 16 plus 1, 17. And this one has 3 decimal digits, and this one has 1, total 4. Okay, but it will be negative. So at this point I have negative 1.8375 plus 2.47. Okay, let's go on. We have this calculation to make. So what is it? We have a negative number plus a positive number. But you know, since this is an addition, we can add in any order. I just want to show you how it works. It's the same as this. And this is the same as 2.47 minus this number. So I just subtract these two numbers. And let's write it here, 2.47. Now regroup. Here 24 minus 18 is 6, so I get like that. So that is our final answer, and now we will check with our estimate, the original estimate, which was 0.5. Yeah, it's reasonably close. It's not super close, which means that when I rounded the numbers, then it creates quite a bit of error. But it's all right. And I have actually checked this already with a calculator too, so it's correct. Now here's another one. Let's first estimate the final result and think about fractions and decimals also. Are we going to use fractions or decimals in the calculation? Okay, there's 2 fractions here and just 1 decimal, so one idea is to just change this to negative 23 over 10 as a fraction and see how that works. You could use decimals too, definitely. Now, if I estimate this, I can think of this as about 1/2, right? This is close to 1. So we have about 1.5 times this number. And 1 time that is, of course, itself, and half of it is about negative 1.15. So 1.5 times negative 2.3, we get it is negative 3.45, or about negative 3.5. So that's our estimate here. And then let's go and calculate with fractions. I first have a sum here, an addition. 2/5 plus 9/8. Need a common denominator, which is going to be 40. And we will get 16 over 40 plus 45 over 40. which is 61 over 40. So that's that sum there, and then it gets multiplied by this. So we will have 61 over 40 times negative 23 over 10. All right, here, whenever there's a fraction multiplication, I always want to check if anything simplifies before multiplying. In this case, no, this is a prime, this is a prime. Nothing cancels out, so we just go 40 times 10, 400. And then this multiplication we need to do. All right, so we have 1403 over 400. One more thing, it's negative, okay? So negative 1403 over 400. And this one is a little bit rough to simplify without a calculator, right? So I'm gonna leave it as is. If you're doing this with a calculator, let's check what it is about as a decimal. Actually, this is exact, not rounded. So this is what we got, and let's now check if this is a reasonable answer. Yes, it is, comparing to our initial estimate, minus 3.5. It's very close, actually. So all is well. Okay, this is all, and I hope it was helpful.